Misfit Radio. I'm one of your hosts, Matt Mobley.
What's going on?
And with me this time is Josh Mobley.
I usually say this week, even if it's not a weekly show.
Yeah. And Alan Krimmel.
Hello there.
This is a show where we have 3 topics, one for each of us.
Unless there's 4 people.
Unless there's more people. And then we talk about them at length.
Mm-hmm.
We also have my daughter Barbara here.
Who you can't see in the camera.
You can't see it. You
She's
can't
gonna
see her,
feast
but you'll definitely hear her.
She's
Feasting
eating.
on a tasty cheese pizza.
We've
from
saved her
Pizza
lunch
Hut.
for this moment so
Yeah.
that she can screech the least amount of times.
Yes.
So
We'll go through it. It doesn't matter who goes first, I guess.
who wants to go first?
You can go first.
All right.
We'll just go this way.
Yeah.
I would like to talk about, my subject today is, can you appreciate art if you know that the artist, the creator, is a horrible person?
Like Cosby Show.
Like the Cosby Show.
Right.
Right. Like when 40 plus women came up and were like,
But I have a question for you.
Yes.
Does by horrible person, does it always have to be to that extent?
No, they can be
I
a
would say
douchebag,
I would
too.
say yes. I would say that's the major problem.
That's an extreme.
I want to talk about the extreme, but we can also talk about, oh man, he's such a fucking dick, you know?
Because I feel like people can meet their heroes and they don't turn out to meet your expectations.
You know,
but
like
could
Bruce
still,
Willis and Cop
Yeah,
Out.
but you can still appreciate their work. You might not look up to them anymore the way you.
Yeah,
once did.
I idolize Kevin Smith.
Mm-hmm.
If I met him and he turned out to be an asshole, I'd be like,
Which I don't
that's
think is
really fucking.
I don't
That's a
think that's ever-
heartbreaking. That'd be a
Heartbreaking.
bummer.
That's not going
That'd
to
be
happen.
a real heartbreaking. But because I idolize him, I hear all his stories and I
Yeah.
hear about the Bruce Willis story. And for a while, I was like, man, fuck Bruce Willis. But let's be honest, I'm still going to watch Looper. So
He's such an awesome. Going back to Kevin Smith, this is the guy who reads through every single fan tweet we ever
yeah,
tweet. This
he's
guy
favorited a few of our
yeah,
tweets.
I tweeted.
Responded a
I
couple.
tweeted reading Swamp Thing to your lady will get you laid, and he favorited that. He's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, well, most people who create stuff are nice.
Yeah.
I find it's just there's the few people that you find that
I
are
think-
kind of douchebags.
I think that it's easier if you already know that they're kind of a douchebag. Like, my favorite author is Bret Easton Ellis. He wrote Less Than Zero. He wrote American Psycho. He has his own podcast, and you can tell when you listen to him that he's kind of pretentious in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see that in his writing, too. And so when, I started looking up interviews, I was like, he's kind of what I expected.
I mean, some of the best authors are pretentious.
And so I still...
or
and
racist.
He's pretentious in, a dickish kind of way and sometimes. So... But I still enjoy listening to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's easier when you already know, this guy can be kind of a dick. Yeah.
In terms of people, I really look up to, at least from a creative standpoint. I think one of the bigger disappointments was at a Comic-Con a few years ago. I think we all love Jeff Lemire, and I waited after a panel to get some books signed by him, and I went up to him.
Which you usually have success doing.
Yeah, I know, which you usually do have success doing, and I've met a lot of awesome writers and artists who will be like, yeah, sure, I'll sign whatever you want. So I bring my book up to him. There's nobody else there but me and him. He's like, I have a signing tomorrow. You can make line for that. I can't sign this right now. I'm like, are you serious? And that's not a terrible way to turn someone down if there's a future opportunity. I just couldn't see why he wouldn't do it then and there. Whereas
Right. you get chances to a chance to take a picture with Bruce Timm, and that guy looks perpetually angry.
Yeah, and then the complete opposite of this was my experience with trying to meet Scott Snyder. So
I hear he's
just
he's such a nice man.
So now when you're
Nice
trying
young man.
to meet a writer or an artist at Comic-Con, it's gotten so ridiculous to the point where you have to go to the DC Comics panel. The first thing it opens, and you have to make a line, and then you get a wristband that they only hand out to a few people.
I've been to
So,
Comic-Con.
yeah,
Those lines are brutal.
Yeah, and I ran to the convention center from where our shuttle dropped me off, and I got there when the doors opened. Seriously, I think they opened at 10, and I got there at 10:02 to the DC booth, and they're like, "Oh, we're completely out of wristbands." I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
Oof.
So then I'm like, "Okay, Scott Snyder he's doing a Superman panel at 12 because that was the time Superman Unchained came out." So I waited till the end of the panel, and I tried to approach the podium where all the writers are speaking, and then security blocks people out of the way. Oh, they're not signing right now. They're not signing right now. Like, you're gonna have to go to like their signing. I'm like, well, I tried to go to their signing and I couldn't get a wristband. Can't I just go up to him? They're like, no. So I'm like, all right, man. I'm like way too determined to get my book signed, so I'll just wait outside the door. So like, I wait 5 minutes, and eventually he comes out, and I'm like, would you mind like signing these books for me? He's like, yeah, sure. Like, I actually have to run and go do an interview. I think it was for like Comic Book Resources or something at the time. He's like, if you want to walk with me over there, I'd be happy to like chat, and I'll sign anything you want. And like,
That's real class.
I got to spend like 5 minutes with Scott Snyder, and he was the sweetest guy ever. And he's like just like on top of the world right now because he's been writing Batman for the last 3 years, which is phenomenal. But
That's real classy.
that was a good experience. And then I was just at WonderCon in the beginning of April, and another guy who's on top of the world is Robert Kirkman, of course, creator of The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy's massive. So as soon as his panel ended, like same deal, security's like, oh, he can't sign for anyone. He did not give a shit. Like, there was like 40 people waiting for him. He took like a good 20 minutes out of his schedule after the panel to like stop and sign and take pictures for every single person that was there.
No.
And this is a guy who doesn't have to do this either because he's
Right.
That's how you know those are the good
Yeah.
artists and the good creators to be fans of, because we at Toaster Chimp have like we've only been around for like 2 months, but we are starting to build a fan base, and there's like 2 people that comment on a bunch of our videos, and they ask questions, and they're there,
And we're very happy.
and we're very happy, and I love responding to their questions and stuff.
Yeah.
And if they ever stopped me, I would love to make time for them, because if I've met like a writer or something that I really admired, I'd want them to give me 3 minutes or something. Even though I don't typically like bothering people, but
and you got to understand, like
a lot-
sometimes people have their bad days too, and you might catch them at an inopportune time.
I listened to a podcast called Tell 'em Steve Dave that features 2 of the comic book men.
Is that Walt?
Walt and Bry.
Okay.
And Brian has made mention, like, I'd love to sign, all the time, but sometimes, the point is that I can't sign too much for free because we have to be able to make the money to afford to go to other cons.
I can understand that.
So, he's like, if you come up to me and you expect a free signature, I'm sorry, or a free picture, I'm sorry, I can't. Like,
Yeah.
This is at a con or just like
he goes
on the
to
strip?
they go to like tons of cons.
I mean, like,
Yeah, well, like if they find him at a con and he's not like at the table or something like that.
yeah, I understand that, and like I don't mind either, but
Yeah.
when these guys are supposed to be signing for free, and then you get that kind of like
Right.
reaction, that's just a little bit of a letdown.
Mhm.
So I want to hear about your guys' positive and negative experiences when it comes to meeting some.
I've
people you
never
really
met.
look up to.
I don't think I've ever met a creator or anyone who's been overtly negative to me. I think more of what the subject was originally about was like, well, I guess it kind of pertains, but I mean,
Can you still enjoy their? Yeah, well,
if they're a
to that
douchebag, no, I think it actually does ruin
Well,
it.
the only
me.
It depends on the extent. Like Bill Cosby, that's
Now
ruined,
you can't.
That's ruined everything.
You literally can't
Yeah.
watch Cosby Show now because you're like, none of these lessons matter. You've raped people. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Well, as far as your question goes, the only famous person I've ever talked to is Brendan Fraser, and you saw how that turned out.
He seemed like
he was a very nice.
He was a chatty motherfucker.
He was a chatty motherfucker. He was a very nice guy.
Yeah,
I was very nervous.
He was a nice guy.
I was very nervous.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish he'd get some better movies.
Yeah.
I mean, Furry Vengeance, come on.
He
man.
deserves better movies.
You could
He
do better
hit-
than that.
He hit a guy with a chair in The Mummy. Like, he deserves better
you
movies.
can do
At
better
least-
than this.
At least he was in
He was,
Crash.
he was in a movie called Gimme Shelter with Vanessa Hudgens.
I just think of like the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, when
No,
you
no,
say
no.
that, I think of that documentary.
It's
Yeah,
it's
the
it's
Hells Angels.
it's based on a true story about a girl who is who was pregnant and gets bounced around from foster care stuff. Anyway, he was in it and he was pretty good in it. And that movie was pretty good up until the end, and then she was really selfish. She made a very selfish turn.
Marvel, if you're listening, give Brendan Fraser a role in one of your movies and save his career.
No.
Yeah, for real.
Even
But-
if he's just like someone's father.
He
or
deserves
something.
it. He's
Yeah.
a nice guy.
He is a really nice guy. The point. Okay. When she's done, she starts throwing, and so I was hoping that she wasn't throwing. The point that I'm bringing this up is because I got in an argument with a friend of ours, Elaine, when I watched Chinatown. You remember I told you I saw
love
Chinatown?
Chinatown is such a great
Chinatown
film.
is amazing.
It's a great film.
It's amazing. It's a great film. It's also directed by Roman Polanski,
Yeah.
who
also directed Rosemary's Baby, which is another great film.
Roman Polanski, allegedly. I'm not trying to get in any trouble. So allegedly, raped a young woman, an underage woman, and then fled the country.
He's never come back, right?
And
or is he still alive?
I'm pretty sure he's still alive, and I'm pretty sure he hasn't come back.
All right.
I haven't really kept up on it since he left.
Yeah, I don't know.
But and I tried to tell her she's never seen Chinatown. I was like, you gotta watch it. It's so good.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
It's a Roman Polanski movie. She's like, fuck that. Fuck Roman Polanski. And I was like, look, Roman Polanski might be a terrible person, but that doesn't mean Chinatown's not a good movie.
That's a good point, because Chinatown is a great movie. Rosemary's Baby is an excellent horror movie. Although it's more thriller than horror.
Right.
It has, yeah, she agrees.
Well, I can see how it's different for someone who's directing and who's behind the camera, and it's not someone that's on screen and he's been building this image for all these years.
I also think he was, but he didn't write those movies, right? He didn't.
I think he might have helped write.
I don't think he wrote Rosemary's
Chinatown.
Baby.
I think he helped write.
But
Chinatown.
with Bill Cosby, just like with his stand-up comedy and the Cosby Show and all these other roles we've been seeing.
Fat Albert.
He was America's
He was
dad.
America's dad. Yeah.
Yeah. We all looked up to this guy.
And it's like, where do you? But even for her sake, like Lane's sake, where do you draw the line? Because like I had to pull out the argument where it's like you don't want to watch Chinatown, but I bet you'll fucking watch X-Men Apocalypse when that comes out. And Bryan Singer was accused of molesting an underage boy.
Yeah, but that wasn't that not true?
I don't know that for certain.
We'll never
know. To me,
a lot of things get covered up in Hollywood.
That sounds. I don't know. It
sounded far-fetched.
It sounds super far-fetched, but
my fiance Lee can't watch Woody Allen films anymore because of.
I've never watched a Woody Allen film, but I want to try.
What did Woody Allen do?
He
allegedly do.
Allegedly, also molested an underage girl.
I think I read an article.
I think it was actually his stepdaughter.
Something tells me I think I read an article about this, but it was from like her perspective, and she was very adamant, like, yeah, this happened. So I was like, holy shit. But here's the thing: Woody Allen's in all his movies. He like writes all his movies.
Well, not all of them.
Right?
Not all of them. He wasn't in Midnight in Paris when we watched it.
So that's okay.
And
I'm just kidding.
He wasn't in Vicky Cristina Barcelona, which is my fiance Lee's favorite. One of her favorite movies.
Words.
Here you go.
Use my words. It used to be one of her favorite movies, and now it's not because she can't watch it anymore without thinking about that. So it's like, where do you draw the line?
That's a tough question.
Obviously, with Cosby, it's like, I can't. Like, you've been in the public. Yes, I know. He's a horrible, horrible man. He's been in the public eye for, 20-plus years.
Probably longer than that.
Longer than that.
30.
I mean, I used to love his stand-up.
I did, too.
My mom had a videotape that she taped off of HBO, Bill Cosby himself.
He's still doing stand-up,
I mean,
apparently.
to me, yeah, it's like something you could always bond over. Either we could bond together over it, or we could bond with our parents watching Bill. Like, I know with my dad, I would enjoy listening to his stand-up, watching the Cosby Show. Even with Josh, we would listen to his stand-up when we were kids. Before entertain us endlessly.
Before the allegations, Bill Cosby himself was genius, and I loved it. It was so funny, and now I can't watch it without being pissed off.
Yeah, is it maybe because
I know
he's gonna get caught? Just you wait and see.
Maybe here's the thing. Maybe it's that with Bill Cosby, it's something. Like, we've experienced all his work growing up and stuff, and then there's this huge revelation as adults where it's like, now it feels like all this stuff is ruined, whereas with Roman Polanski, we didn't know who the fuck that was until we were, like, adults, and then you figure out, he apparently almost did that.
Everything has been ruined with Bill Cosby except for that scene in Jack that has only been enhanced because of the content of that song.
Oh, my God.
He's gonna get caught. Just you wait and see.
I did hear.
They stick it on me.
I did hear a story that there is one lady that came forward who said that it happened in New Jersey. New Jersey doesn't have a statute of limitations on rape, so he could actually face charges on this one because most of them are like 20 plus years ago. So it's like can't. What are you gonna do? Like 20 years ago, didn't come forward soon enough. But now it's like I'm from Jersey, bitch. Like.
Yeah.
What did Kevin Smith say? He's like, Jersey Pride?
It's Jersey Pride. That's actually how our us is played. New Jersey. New Jersey Garden State. We don't have statute of limitations on rape.
Oh, man. Yeah, it depends because I think not Roman. I think Bill Cosby is like way bigger than a lot of these people.
And I agree with you.
He was way more influential.
Yeah,
maybe that's
because
what it is.
that's another thing is that like 20 plus years, he's been in front of the camera teaching life lessons and morals. Do you want more?
I, as far as you know, am not a rapist.
As far as you know. That's the key word.
Allegedly.
40 plus
40,
women.
Yeah, 41 I think is the exact
41
number.
or 42,
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Jesus, man.
I'm sure we're not done yet.
That's not a coincidence. Mm-hmm. And somehow there's still people like, we love you, Bill Cosby.
Especially when a lot of these people coming forward are respectable, actresses and models. So it's not just anybody who's making these allegations. I believe one of them was even Lou Ferrigno's wife who came forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Carla Ferrigno.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They're terrifying. I read an article once about someone that was detailing it. She said that she ran into Cosby one time after that, many years later, and he didn't even recognize her. And she said that was actually the scariest part of the whole story. Was that he didn't even recognize that this is a person that he violated.
It's like almost that serial killer like thing. It's just like another day.
So, what I'm curious about it is the actress who played Claire Huxtable in the Cosby Show. Did he just like never come on to her because she was a frequent co-star, or do you think she's covering up for him?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
I mean,
she's had to have seen something like on set, because some of these people that were harassed were stars or just guest stars on the Cosby Show. So
no, that's what the New Jersey one was.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know the story, but regardless, it's like it was a massive betrayal for everyone. It was like like you said, you were America's dad. You taught us life lessons for years growing up on how to be a good person. Now it's just nullified. It's null and void because it doesn't matter anymore. You're not a good person.
There's better. I think there was a Kickstarter. I don't remember the actor's name, but he did a Kickstarter to fund them superimposing him over Bill Cosby in every single episode of the Cosby Show.
I heard about that.
Who's doing it?
I don't remember. It was a while back. I don't actually know if it succeeded or not, but it was pretty funny. Yeah, man, I don't know. All I gotta say is Chinatown is an excellent movie, and Rosemary's Baby is like an A-class horror thriller.
I knew that bringing this up, we wouldn't get a good answer, but I knew that
there isn't really
an
answer.
answer. But I wanted to bring it up for the conversation.
I guess it really depends on what job that person has, and whether you're a director, an actor.
Yeah, because a lot of times directors don't write the movies or anything. They're just brought in to direct, and it's like that's not really their movie,
And we could even talk about Bruce Willis. We know this guy is kind of an asshole, judging the way he's treated some of his fans and some of the media interviewing him about his movies. But I mean, he hasn't done anything to this extent that like Bill Cosby or Roman Polanski.
But at least Bruce Willis donates Girl Scout cookies to the army and shit. Like, he does good things. What I get from him is he just wants people to leave him the fuck alone.
Knowing how much of an asshole he is, doesn't...
It's kind of like, I think after, because I read the chapter in Smith's book about, his experience, and he just Willis sounds tired. Yeah. Like, he's just like, he has a whole part where he talks about, like these guys drive by and they're like, fucking Die Hard, I love you, man! And Smith's like, oh man, you must love that. Like people call me Silent Bob all the time. I fucking love that. And he's like, I fucking hate it. I hate when people say that. I hate the people that say Die Hard the most.
Oh my god.
But
it's his best movie.
Yeah, I think at this point, 20, 30 years later, He's tired.
Yeah, it
and
might have
he's
been
just-
time that did this to him. He might have been a different person beforehand.
Yeah.
But still, I mean,
Like,
have
you
to
know, when you
realize-
start in the business, it's like movie magic, and then later on, it's just like contracts and scripts, and I just want the money. Just give me
But
some
I
money.
mean, you have to understand with this kind of career, you're a role model for a lot of people. You can't really, let your guard down. Even if you have to put on a performance, like for fans when you go out,
Mm-hmm.
it's really damaging to your public image to go out and do something like that.
Yeah. Well, it's like Robert Downey Jr. had that interview about why he didn't want to. He would never do an indie movie or whatever.
What
And
did he say?
He's basically said because it's like everything's unprofessional and there's no money. He's like, I don't make any money. That's basically what he was. Let's boil it down. That's what he said. And I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
The guy makes so much money on Iron Man. It's ridiculous.
You get to a point where I'm sure every actor or filmmaker or someone in the business gets to a point where they're just like, I've grown accustomed to a lifestyle, and I don't, I really personally.
Well, they're
don't wanna give it
also
up.
worth the money at that point.
Yeah, especially him.
I think if I was in his shoes and if I was making like Avengers: Age of Ultron money, then I would start looking more into going back to indie
I would do
movies. Then
indie-
I would be a little bit more selective about what
I would do
scripts
indies
could
if it
pick.
was it was something I was passionate about.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean,
Yeah, but you say that, but I mean,
It depends
it
on how
depends.
strapped
You
you are
don't.
for cash.
Yeah, you don't have millions of dollars.
Well, I
like
mean,
he does,
he
so.
made
It's
like
not like a weekly salary.
he
you
got
know?
paid like $200 million or something crazy for Iron Man 3 and Avengers 2.
Yeah, but he probably wants to keep making that much money.
I know. And
Yeah.
plus, Marvel doesn't allow a whole lot of openings.
Right.
You know.
Anyway, I think we've exhausted this subject.
Yeah,
but
just in concluding this topic, I guess to me it all depends to like the extent of what someone has done, whether or not I could continue enjoying what they've what they're working on. Bill Cosby's a definite no, but then like I've said, I've met some creators who didn't turn out to be what I had expected, and they're still putting out quality work, and it won't stop me from buying it. Yeah.
Like you're still gonna read Sweet Tooth.
And if like Roman Polanski made another really classic movie,
Amazing movie.
yeah, I'm sure that wouldn't stop you from going to check it out either.
No, not at all.
That doesn't mean he's not.
He hasn't made a really good movie.
I mean, he might still be a piece of shit, but
Yeah.
you'd check it out.
But yeah, it's like the real question here is like, where's the line? Like some people are like, I can't watch a Woody Allen movie anymore. Or, I'm definitely gonna watch X-Men, but I'm not gonna.
Are
watch
those allegations against Woody Allen something that have just recently been?
no,
it's been a while.
a long
I've
time
never
ago.
heard that before.
Yeah, a long time ago.
It's been a while.
The Polanski thing was at least like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, right? I remember
been a
hearing
while.
about
I
that.
think that's also been a
I remember
while.
hearing about that.
It's been a while. I'm not sure though.
But Cosby, I mean, that's still ongoing.
That's ongoing. It's been there going on for like what, a year now.
Yeah, I hope he's brought to justice before he passes on.
I think that he deserves to be judged guilty before he dies.
Yeah.
He's old. He's gonna die. I just hope that the justice system gets him before death does. You all right?
She's disgusted.